There is one reason why you and your child sometimes feel like you are speaking two completely different languages. And it is not your child. You have spent years expecting an emotional capability from them that their brain had not built yet. This video shows you exactly where they are. And I am freeing you right now. This is not your fault. Nobody told you that a child's brain passes through 7 distinct phases of emotional development. 7 levels. Each one with different capabilities, different limits, different needs, and every single level looks like a problem. Until you know what you are looking at. I spent months going through research on how the emotional brain develops in children, and when I saw that map for the first time, I wished I had it much earlier. I am going to show it to you now. From the first day of life to age 16, your child passes through 7 different emotional brains. Literally different, new neurological architecture, new capacity, new rules. By the end of this video, you will be able to look at your child and know exactly where they are. Not roughly. Exactly. And there is one thing about level 7 I will show you at the end. It explains why adolescence is chaotic in a way nobody else has explained. We start at the beginning. Level 1. 0 to 3 months. Just the body. Your newborn has no emotions. I know that sounds cold, but it is a neurological fact. What they have are physiological states: hunger, pain, overstimulation, warmth. The amygdala, the part of the brain that reacts to threat, is running from day 1. The prefrontal cortex, the part that processes, regulates, and understands, barely exists yet. So when your newborn cries, they are not communicating. They are alarming. The cry is a biological alarm signal, not a message. This matters because many parents respond to a newborn as if the baby is upset with them. They are not. Their nervous system is simply firing. But something changes in the next few months that most parents completely miss. Level 2. 3 to 18 months. Emotional contagion. At around 3 months, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your baby starts to have no border between their emotional state and yours. This is called emotional contagion, and it is not metaphorical. It is neurological. If you walk into the room anxious, your baby's nervous system picks that up and mirrors it. Before you say a single word, before you touch them, through your face, your voice, the speed of your movements. Researchers at the University of California found that infants as young as 4 months show measurable stress hormone changes in response to a parent's stress state. Not their own stress. The parents. This is not manipulation. This is not sensitivity. This is a baby whose brain has no wall between itself and you yet. Which means, at level 2, the most powerful thing you can do for your child's emotional regulation is regulate yourself first. Level 3. 18 months to 3 years. Feelings without words. The terrible twos. Every parent knows this phrase. Almost nobody knows what is actually happening. At level 3, your child's emotional capacity is growing faster than their ability to put words to those emotions. By months, not days. Months. They feel something huge. Frustration, disappointment, rage. And they have almost no language for it. So the explosion is not irrational. It is the only exit available. The emotion has to go somewhere. The body becomes the expression because the mouth cannot. When you try to reason with a 3-year-old mid-meltdown, you are talking to a brain that is not capable of receiving reason in that moment. The prefrontal cortex has gone offline. Presence and calm beat logic every time at level 3. Level 4 is where something new enters, and it is something no parent expects. Level 4. 3 to 6 years. First, mental maps. Around age 3, something happens in your child's brain that researchers call theory of mind. Your child starts to understand that other people have different thoughts, feelings, and experiences than they do. Before this, your child genuinely believed everyone saw the world the same way they did. At level 4, that changes. This is when real empathy becomes possible for the first time. Your child can look at your face and wonder what you're feeling. They can bring you a toy when you look sad. They can comfort a crying friend. But here is something most parenting content does not mention. Manipulation also becomes possible here for the first time. Not because your child is scheming, but because they now understand that their actions affect your emotional state. They start running experiments. This is developmentally healthy. It is your child's brain learning the rules of social reality. Level 5 is when the brain builds something that will be with your child for the rest of their life. Level 5, 6 to 9 years, the inner voice. At level 5, self-regulation starts to become real. Your child can delay a reaction. They can feel something and not immediately act on it. They can begin to talk themselves through it. This is one of the most significant neurological milestones in development. The prefrontal cortex is building its first reliable connections with the amygdala. But something else is built at the same time. The inner critic. Before level 5, your child could feel bad about something they did. At level 5, they start to feel bad about who they are. Shame, not just guilt, becomes possible. The voice that says not just, "I did something wrong," but "there is something wrong with me." How you respond to your child's mistakes at level 5 begins to shape that inner voice for decades. Level 6, 9 to 12 years. The social brain. The prefrontal cortex keeps growing. Your child gets better at regulation. But something new happens at level 6 that changes everything. The peer group takes over as the primary emotional reference point. Your child is no longer regulating emotions just for themselves. They are regulating them in relation to how they look in front of others. Emotional masking begins here. The performance of being fine when they are not. The suppression of emotions that feel socially unsafe. I was reading research from UCLA's Social Neuroscience Lab, and it stopped me cold. At level 6, social rejection activates the same regions of the brain as physical pain. Not metaphorically. The same circuits. This is why your 10-year-old can be devastated by something that seems small to you. To their brain, being excluded from a lunch table registers with the same intensity as being hurt. And now we reach level 7. The one most parents misread entirely. Level 7, 12 to 16 years. The second rewiring. The adolescent brain is not a broken adult brain. It is a brain undergoing its second major reconstruction. The first happened in the first 2 years of life. This is the second. And it is just as disruptive, just as necessary, and just as misread by the adults around it. What happens at level 7 is called neural pruning. The brain literally removes connections that are not being used and reinforces the ones that are. It is ruthlessly efficient. And during the process, it is chaotic. Your teenager is not regressing. They are not going backwards. They are dismantling old architecture to build something that has a higher ceiling than anything that came before. The emotional volatility, the risk-taking, the intensity, the need for peers over parents, all of it is the brain doing exactly what it is supposed to do at level 7. And when it finishes, around 16, 17, the emotional capacity that emerges is greater than at any previous level. More nuanced, more self-aware, more capable of genuine connection. Here is what I actually want you to take from this. This video taught you to recognize the level. But the real shift is not about your child. It is about you. A parent who knows what level their child's brain is on stops fighting against their child. They start fighting for them. Your child has always been doing exactly what their brain could do in that moment. Level 3 tantrums were not manipulation. Level 6 masking was not attitude. Level 7 withdrawal was not rejection. You were expecting level 5 from a level 3 brain. Level 7 understanding from a level 4 child. Not because you were a bad parent, because nobody gave you the map. You have the map now. So now you know the 7 levels. You know what each one can and cannot do, and you know why your child was never the problem. Next week, I am breaking down something that comes directly from level 5. The inner critic that forms between 6 and 9, and how what you say in those years becomes the voice your child carries into adulthood. Subscribe so you do not miss it. And if you want to go deeper on attachment, on why some children move through these levels securely and others struggle, that video is right there.